Are you ready to explore the darkest corners of your psyche that you've been hiding from? If the answer is yes, let's talk about Shadow Tarot reading and how I use it and why it is completely my wheelhouse. Now, a lot of people throw around shadow work and lots of people do it very differently, but we've got to be careful with it and what actually happens when we dig beneath the surface. Shadow work isn't about demons or bad things or things that frighten us. It's about exploring the corners of our mind and also exploring what drives us to do the things we do. The real ghost that haunts us isn't actually the paranormal. It's us, and it's what's haunting us in the back of our mind. Shadow work consists of lots of different things. It consists of everything that Pamela Colman-Smith integrated into the cards. Jungian theory is also highly influenced within shadow work, but also there is a psychology, neuro-linguistic programming. There's lots that goes into it. So it's not just the spiritual stuff, which is still really important, but there's lots of technical frameworks that can go into it, especially if you want to get really down and dirty. So here are the core bridge that brings everything together. So tarot is the access point. The Jung part of it is the framework for the meaning. Maslow's hierarchy of needs can be integrated by the human needs, like what fundamentally everybody needs for growth. Your higher self and your team, and that's about your inner knowing, your guidance for your greatest of good. And NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is the linguistic and behavioral thing that embeds change. So all of these things are huge layers. Now, I'm not saying other shadow practices don't work, but when we're using tarot, this is a great way of doing it. And when you have somebody like me who has studied all of this, I can really get right down into the dirt and help you uncover things that you probably didn't even know. So let me explain this further. So Carl Jung was one of the most influential psychologists who believed that we all shared an unconscious collected belief, that we all had a library of symbols that spoke to us. And Pamela, who was the artist, she actually embedded into the cards the exact language that we needed to see. And then our higher self, our team, our intuition, whatever that might be for a person, takes us to our inner psychologist. And that lets us see what we're really ready to face. So when I'm talking a lot about if it wasn't meant to be in the cards, why would it be there? That is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, neuro-linguistic programming can then come in because we can use the linguistic programming to reframe the story, therefore being able to see it differently, therefore being able to move out of an unconscious belief. Now, I could spend all day talking about this, but this is what my clients pay the big bucks for, to learn how to do this. But what I will say is, Carl Jung, I love this phrase that he said, if you do not bring the unconscious to the conscious, you will go about life and call it fate. Meaning that we do not have to have the life we have. We do not need to believe what we believe. We've also got neuro-linguistic programming when they say the map is not the territory. What does that mean? It means the territory is the floating rock that we're all on. Every continent is in the same place. The landscape looks like it looks, but our map is our map. It is shaped by our caregivers, things that happen to us, our life experiences, and what we believe about the world. But what if our beliefs are not helping us? What if it is actually keeping us stuck? So I do this. This is my wheelhouse. If you want to have a look at this in further detail, you can go find that information over there. But it isn't just about spirituality. It isn't just about psychic abilities. It's everything in there. And those cards is where the magic lies, the way it's been illustrated. So it draws out things in us. And that is why my students really, once they see this, they consume it because it's so fascinating. That's why I've even got therapists working with me, because therapy is limited by the parameters that they have. So that could be dealing with what's happening in the day-to-day, where the shadow, you prick things to find things and then deal with it in a very gentle, carefully curated environment. So if you fancy trying that out and coming for a reading with me, everything's over there, and I've got it on half price at the moment. So because it's spooky season, I thought I'd do that. And trust me, not only will it be eye-opening, probably be some tears, but you'll learn a lot about yourself.